Alright, you guys ready for game 1 of this next best of 3? Hope so. As to the upper left hand side, we're going to kick it off with our blue Terran player from Team Liquid. It's uThermal. He's going up against the red Protoss player to the bottom right hand side of the map. From his Imber, it is Hellraiser. Any Zergs today, you just missed out on Raynor versus Hellraiser. Raynor will be playing again against uThermal and Cats later on. And then if we do Group C as well, we also have some Namshar games if you're looking for more Zerg. I'm not 100% sure if we're going to do the Group C replays today. We're just going to kind of see how the stream's going, see what we're feeling, see what we're thinking. If that's cool with you guys at least, because that's kind of how I'd like to do it. I think it'd be pretty nice. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking right now. Group C was Showtime, Namshar, Strange, and Clem, I think. So we might do that. Might do a couple of them and do the rest later. We'll see how the stream goes, guys. We'll see what we're thinking after we've done this Group B set of replays. See if we want to continue on or if we're going to stop and do something else. I'm not sure. Like, I really didn't decide fully just yet. As we do see an orbital on the way up in the main base, a Reaper expansion here to kickstart things for uThermal in the early stages. Is this probe just going to be still being annoying? I mean, forcing this SCV back into the main. I mean, a new one here will come down, build a CC, another SCV down the ramp, just to help out, and also maybe to even go across the map and to confirm it is an expansion from the Protoss player in these early stages. So, moving across, we're going to see how things continue on. Just a moment or two of kind of calm before the storm in this entire game. Waiting to see the build orders, etc. being chosen, what tech will be thrown down from the Protoss player, and all the rest of it. So I guess we'll see that over the next few minutes here. But for now, again, just a little bit of calm and just waiting for that to kind of actually get set up and to happen. Let me know what's up in the chat. Let me know how we're all feeling. Let me know how we're all doing. Guys, we're going to be busy the next few days. I kind of originally had a bunch of replays set up to cast for you guys, but I got some mixed responses about some bits and pieces, especially the WSG Korean qualifiers, because I really thought I could cast this now, and then O-Gaming told me that I couldn't. And so I'm not sure whether we can cast them. I mean, we've had these replays for like 2 weeks already. I don't want to really keep them too much longer, but I also don't want to get in trouble, you know? So yeah, I'm not really 100% sure on that one just yet. So yeah, I guess we'll see. But yeah, there's this Reaper coming in again, just looking to try and keep on scouting. Actually, 2 extra gates already behind the robe. I mean, uThermal sees everything, so good info for him. And the Stalker will pick up the kill here. One last shot to kill the Reaper. But yeah, just forgot what we were talking about now. What were we just talking about before I talked about that Reaper? I don't know. Yeah, my memories is failing me. What was I even talking about? StarCraft, this group. I really don't know. Oh my god. Can't think at all. Okay, well. Can't have been that important. Oh, WSG replays. Oh yeah, let's talk about what's going on this week. I guess I don't want to talk about it too much, but basically, we're gonna be casting every day this week. I just set up the WardiTV Invitational number 2 because we had some Matcherino codes. Now I was meant to use for an America's event that we never got to make happen. So we'll have some a WardiTV Invitational over the next few days. The qualify tomorrow, and then going from there. So we'll see what happens. Oh, we don't mind. Yeah, first one actually gets lifted up, second one will just get one probe, and Stalkers will obviously clean that out then pretty quickly afterwards. This medevac's actually going to go dive back in towards the main base here. The Observer's missed it, so might be able to catch out. There's 2 Stalkers already. Oh, the medevac gets low! Will not go down just yet. Medevac actually stays alive in the corner. One probe will be given up. No, he's going to reposition it. Now the Stalker's going to get back in there. Oh, he's still just only going to get the 1 probe though. Okay, well 1 probe is 1 probe. Better than nothing, and at least the medevac stayed alive at the end of this, right? As we're going to be seeing this medevac coming through the south side Back at home, uThermal going into +1 stim pack, and now in towards the siege tank production as well. And a couple of forges on the way out as well here. For Hellraiser and Colossi still coming up. What's up, Wiedemans? How you doing? How's life treating you? As we are just getting set here, guys, to jump into really the next sort of stages of this game today. Just waiting to keep on rolling. Colossi already on the way up here from Hellraiser. He goes into +1/+1 as well. I think uThermal playing pretty simplistic, kind of tank marine. Fast Colossi is pretty good against tank marine, but it's not like there's no way to counter it. Tanks are, generally able to kind of attack the Colossi from a distance, which helps out. WardiTV's still doing the mine drops. Is it worth it? I think it's still a good way, especially with the mines build pretty quick now. I think it's kind of worth it, force some lost mining time, you force units to be in position and at home. I mean, he loses 2 Widow Mines, he kills 2 probes only, but he gets another scout at the base, he gets to check the units are at home, he gets, just apply some pressure. It's not as great as it used to be, because, you don't... The thing is with mine drops is that the mine drop in particular itself didn't necessarily get worse. It is that nowadays the pros player can, skip observers, and so they can be a bit greedier. So the mine drop itself wasn't necessarily too much worse. I mean, obviously you don't have the effect of maybe getting a second shot off and, maybe getting away. It does, okay, it definitely gets worse because you don't get away with the Widow Mine as often, you don't get a second shot as often. I think, if a pros player was dealing with it properly, it wasn't the end of the world anyways. I was just going to be seeing these 2 medevacs just boosting down the right-hand side, looking to see what's going to happen. A probe going to come over to the right. I'm going to look into see what else is going to happen. Marines are dropping here already, though. As uThermal will stim on in, and you'll see this Nexus taking some hits. So third Nexus is probably going to get cancelled here by this initial drop. uThermal is building a third CC. It's not going to go hyper aggressive with a follow-up push. Obviously, does have some potential of tanks and liberators already on the way out and setting up here. Yeah, guys, we are casting from replays today because we weren't able to cast these games live due to internet issues, so just playing a bit of catch-up, something to cast on this kind of holiday period when, I mean, we wouldn't have had anything to cast today otherwise, really, so, I guess it worked out in the end, right? So, yeah, just casting from replays, and people know the results of these games already, so obviously don't spoil in the chat, but that's probably why we don't have as many viewers as we might usually have for something like this. And Papa Mitch gifting another sub. Wardy hearts in the chat, please, people. Some Wardy hearts in the chat for Papa Mitch. And welcome, Wiedemans, to the Wardy family. How you doing? Hi, Wardy says, WardiTech will lack 666 in the chat as well. Hello, how you doing? As you see the next setup of this game, just going to be kind of, again, spread out from both players, taking some map control and all the rest of it. Going to be seeing that Blink and 2-2 up the way up here from Hellraiser. A real upgrade lead going to be established for himself. I mean, uThermal's armory is pretty on time, though, so 2-2 can start from him, minus the fact he only has 1 engineering base, so only +2 attack. uThermal still has this drop of 14 Marines to the right-hand side. It was never 16. He actually didn't lose a single Marine, cancelling that third Nexus a couple minutes ago. Hallucinated Phoenix going to fly on through over the third base, and we're just going to be seeing this Temple Archives on the way up as well, as Liberator actually comes in, grabs 3 kills, doesn't get a Stalker kill because of the shield battery. It's a nice little investment there. Also going to be seeing the a couple more tanks on the way out. He's actually making a lot of tanks. 2 factory with tank production, not something you see all the time in TvP. Something that uThermal used to do way back at the start of Legacy of the Void as well, though. And so we're going to see a lot of tanks, a lot of Marines. It's going to be a very aggressive push here in the near future as we get set up and ready to rumble. A couple Archons on the way out as well. Hellraiser just morphing these in. And another pylon coming up at the front of this third Nexus. Again, there is the 4th CC. Just going to be coming up from uThermal as well in position. Still just sitting back, not really overly aggressive or anything. I feel as though often... I guess he really is building into like the higher tank count rather than just a tank push in general. He wants this to be like a super big aggressive tank push, and that's what he's really aiming for. He is down the left side. He's going to work his way through this set of rocks, and as these rocks go down, well, we just see Obviously access for uThermal down the left side and looking to see what's going to happen. Zealots, Stalkers, Colossi all adding up together. Archons too. I mean, this army's scary from the Protoss play, but is it enough? He's got 2-2 against currently 1-1. By the time uThermal really takes a fight, it's probably going to be +2 attack. +1 vehicle weapons as well will help for the tanks. It now drops into towards the main base. Those medevacs from earlier coming back into play. He's starting loading right now, though. He's going to lose one medevac, still pretty much full. At the same time, this army comes down the ramp, and Hellraiser will attack on in. The tanks, though, are actually not going to do much at all. Hellraiser will push uThermal back here very, very quickly. I mean, what's left in the main base? Not much either. Hellraiser completely shutting uThermal down right now. As he starts to kite backwards with these Marines, Zealots will keep on dropping. As we're going to be seeing the Marines stemming forwards once again. Stalkers and Archons pushed away out into the center. And we're just going to be seeing that Ghost Academy is on the way up behind the 4th Nexus, or 4th CC. So he is going to go into Ghost as a follow-up here. But can he hold off this next Protoss push? Liberators on the way out will definitely help to hold what is generally a choked-up position here. Even building a 5th CC so you can have tanks behind this in a choked-up area. Honestly, if a planned Fortress in play, he might be able to keep this position alive. And for now, we are going to be seeing Hellraiser pushed away back into the center of the map, at least maybe looping around in towards the natural. Loads up a prism with a few Zealots, and we'll see what he can do with that as well in the next couple of moments. As we are going to be seeing the warp in of 6 more Zealots getting set and getting ready to go. 2 libs down the left side. uThermal with 2 medevacs as well could actually get quite a bit done with this here. Hellraiser puts himself on towards the natural expansion and getting ready to go in a moment or two, as that set of rocks is already under fire. uThermal with the tanks, though, is such a positional based army, and so it really benefits from being the defensive player. 2 libs still moving in towards the main / natural. Looks as though it's going to be the main base he commits to, as this set of medevacs unloads, and Hellraiser doesn't have any units at home really to deal with this right away. A few Stalkers, but this is 16 Marines. 1 Stalker blinks back here right away. Now Hellraiser's starting to pull back. Meanwhile, though, those Liberators are sieged up in each mineral line, and Hellraiser's not responding at all. Probes are going down so quickly here. Stalkers on this side of the map are not being microed, and Hellraiser decides to just go for this now, pushing up this ramp. Stalkers will try and blink towards the tanks, but that's not going well for him at all. Marines are spreading out, and Hellraiser's going to get pushed away. He's just going to GG out. I mean, he's lost a lot in this. I don't think it's a wrong time to GG out at all. Wow. I didn't think this was going to be a very big, popular, crazy stream, but you guys are going insane. So many subs. We're up like, what, 10 subs this stream already? Can we do it? Can we hit 350 sub points today? You know, it's actually not that much. An extra 18 sub points in particular, because, like, it's actually only, like, 3 tier 3 subs, or... Well, I guess it is quite a lot. Like, 3 tier 3 subs is quite a bit, I imagine. It doesn't sound like a lot, though, compared to 18 new subs. You know? Jimsock of the Tier 100 kills Andy Man. Andy Man, as the bit boss, was not very long-lived. He went on a flanking mission and got picked off instantly. Rest in peace. To the bottom right-hand side, our blue Terran player from Team Liquid, it is uThermal. And he is battling against the red Protoss player to the top left-hand side, representing Izimba. It is Hellraiser. Alright. Game 2 then, in this best of 3, and looking to see what's going to happen. As we actually see no Nexus just yet from Hellraiser. Gate Cybercore, so the potential for slightly faster tech. He will still expand, but the Cybercore coming in before the Nexus, it just opens up the faster tech, the faster warp gate, faster Stalker. And those are all things that you can see, saving up Chrono Boost here a little bit. Those are all things which could come out and maybe be very aggressive onto uThermal's base in the near future. Immediately Chrono Boost to Stalker. I imagine that's going to be what he commits into here. Just again, just some light pressure across the map, look to see what he can do, and just sort of go from there. Washtek Warlock 666. I'm pretty sure I definitely am murdering your name. But what's up? Thank you so much for subscribing as well. There's some more Wardy hearts in the chat, please, people. 17 sub points. God damn, you know, I really feel as though we just finished up kind of hyping everyone up and counting down to 300 subs, and now we're legitimately so close to 350 sub points that it feels like we should be counting down again. Thank you so much, Washtek Warlock 666. I appreciate the sub, man. I hope you're having a great day. Welcome to the family. Also, guys, if you are new sub, etc., you get decoration on the Christmas tree. If you'd like to help us decorate it, even though it's post-Christmas. Decorate it? It's an interesting word, isn't it? Thank you very much for subscribing. Let's see some Wardy hearts in the chat again. As we do see the Twilight Castle on the way up, and LCC dropping down. A couple of Hellions this time from uThermal. Reactoring those out here. I mean, Hellions can fight against the Stalker in the sense that he can definitely chase it down. The problem is the Hellions are not going to be able to really fight straight up because the Stalker just chunks away at them, and they don't do a lot of damage to that armored Stalker at all here. So they really, 8 damage, -1 against the armored. It's not brilliant. And they fire kind of slowly, Hellions, as well. 2 new Hellions will eventually kill off the Stalker. Loses a Marine, but there is the kill. Obviously, seeing this many Hellions, though, is a bit of a giveaway. Hellraiser will have a very good idea as to what's going on. Although uThermal just throws down a nice quick 30cc behind this, so he's not looking to be overly aggressive with the Hellions, maybe just some map control. And looking to go from there. 3 Hellions into the middle of the map. There's the 4th one as well coming across now. Lone Probe may look to put up a proxied pylon, and obviously could maybe add on some Stalkers to keep on being aggressive at the front. I mean, what does Hellraiser actually see? Not a lot. Generally, when you do produce these Hellions early, though, the Terran player is very exposed to a blink timing, where they just don't have the rest of their production set up properly to really have enough to defend against Stalkers like blinking in the main, etc. All 3 of these Hellions will make it up in towards this main base mineral line, and so far one little zap of the Hellions does not do a lot, and now just a couple more workers going down. Not too much, though. I mean, this is pretty good damage. It's pretty okay damage, but it's pretty good damage control from Hellraiser. Only 7 workers lost for 4 Hellions. It's not so bad. Generally 10-ish workers is what the Terran will look for here. You gotta remember, he invests into those Hellions rather than other units at this stage of the game. Well, that said, Hellraiser's probe count is kind of low. I guess, maybe skipping a couple probes here or there. He shouldn't be behind on workers, even losing 7. I feel like he should be about even, if, not a couple behind. There's a 30cc for uThermal will definitely help him keep up in the worker count. There's gateway coming up on this side of the map as well. That just puts him up to 4 gates in total, so it's not a crazy number. It definitely does help with this aggression, and most importantly, will help with faster warp-ins, so Hellraiser can continue to commit very easily. Let's see, Marine getting picked off here. We're going to see these tanks firing away. One Stalker getting picked off very quickly there, and we're just going to see these Stalkers just sat outside of this natural expansion. Missile turret on the way up as well here at the front. And those Stalkers just blinking out back into the middle of the map as the Forge comes up now in the main base as well. Hellraiser is just going to get set up into a little bit more of his, just the rest of his kind of setup here, everything else he might need to continue onwards. Robo facility comes up too, and again, that's the great thing about Protoss right now against Terran. You can just completely bypass this Robo for so long into the game, and that's exactly what we're seeing this time, and doesn't get it up until he really needs to start up something like a, just a mortal production even, really. +1 charge, obviously already has Blink very early in the game, so +1 will line up with charge this time around as he follows up into just more gateway-focused units. Obviously, we've seen a lot out of the Korean scene lately. He's just casting the IEM Pyeongchang Korean qualifiers the other day, so I casted a whole bunch of PvT there, and pretty much every Protoss was playing, well, I'd say like 75% of the PvT games at least was just mass gateway units. It's a little bit different from Hellraiser for now. He was going into faster Colossi last game. This game he adds on some extra gates going up into 3rd Nexus, but already an Immortal coming through, so it's not like it is just mass Stalker Zealot or so. He's got a little bit of tech mixed in here as well. You're going to see a few Marines getting chipped away at already by that Stalker fire. Marines pushing down the ramp, and we are going to see the 3rd ZC from uThermal starting to move on down into position as well. Again, those tanks to back things up, the stim pack coming through and coming up to being about halfway done. And these barracks just continue to gather up as well. This Orbital taking a few chips here and there. Marines are just going to be nearby still. The tank siege will obviously help to keep this push back, and really can't commit to keeping these Stalkers around. Still has that gate on the high ground, which I don't think uThermal knows about yet. And without that information, he's just a little bit kind of unaware as to what exactly is happening. I mean, it's not the end of the world, but is it going to be very useful if uThermal pushes across the map? Warp in like 4 Zealots here, boom. You got a counterattack into this 3rd base mineral line instantly. And obviously that's very powerful. In fact, there's already some Zealots on the high ground. uThermal hasn't moved across the map just yet, though. His main army, so not sure how much these Zealots will do, but maybe just wait. And +1 charge about to finish, so maybe he's got better intentions here, or bigger intentions. As it looks as though actually Hellraiser is going to really set up in towards this attack. Bunker starts to come on up. I mean, at the very least, this will create a bit of SimCity for these siege tanks. Even kind of soak up the Zealot charge a little bit here. Could be very effective, and Okay, the Zealots actually target fire onto a tank, which is very well done. SCVs pull in here. uThermal is far ahead on SCVs, so you can definitely get away with losing a few by pulling them into the fight. There's tanks helping to protect, but only one tank left now. More Marines simming in, though, and as the Zealots disappear, the rest of the Protoss army will go down very quickly. But there's that new warp in. Immediately see Zealots ready to go once again. Devo's starting to come up to try and block this position. Marines simming back again. Mule's pulling in with the SCVs, but obviously that's not going to go too well for him. This tank at the front is just going to go down, but he's bought himself some time to at least get rid of the Zealots. Now he can push forwards again. We'll see the Sentry and Immortal and a couple more Stalkers maybe under pressure. uThermal losing a lot in the last few moments here. 1-1 still on the way up for him though. So he's, if he can just keep on holding on, there's potential here. Zealots have to break through a wall this time around. Well, the Immortal's going to help chunk his way through that. uThermal doesn't really need the supply depots at the moment. He's mostly just using them for the wall off. He's well off in terms of overall supply. Just wants to try and keep his units behind a wall, but more Stalkers warping in. Obviously a wall affects them, but obviously they can still fire over the wall. And, oh, well, that's a weird blink because it doesn't actually get enough of the Stalkers on top of the Marines. And the Zealots are still blocked on the wall, so the Marines can target down the Stalkers for a little while. And that goes a long way to helping out. Now a blink forwards, but again, no blink backwards available, which means the Marines will continue to trade out. And uThermal, is he just about able to hold on here with a few more Marines coming down this ramp? This Immortal's going to go down. No way out for it here. The Warp Prism was kind of sat back. Now it was looking towards the main base, but gets pushed back by a turret. That means it wasn't in position to protect against or to lift up and micro that Immortal around. Another Stalker going down here. uThermal currently clutching out this defense. +1 armor finishing in a moment or so. Combat shields coming up as well. His wall has been broken through. This new siege tank will siege on this ramp once more. SCVs will pull in. An engineering bay just in time to choke up some of those Zealots. SCVs try to join the fight yet again. The tank, though, will go down so quickly. And the Marine numbers really are struggling now. The medevacs are low on hit energy, so the healing point really isn't there that it was before. And now we see these units continue to push in towards the natural. uThermal down 20 supply. Can he hold on with the SCVs? I mean, he might be able to hold on, but can he actually hold on with enough left over to move into another stage of this game? I mean, 15 workers down. You have to imagine it's difficult. Only 2 gases in the game for the Protoss player, though, who might just kill the 3rd CC. Obviously, that would be absolutely huge here. And there it goes. 3 CC just disappears. Alright, well, the 3rd CC is gone. And that's a big pick-off here. As we're going to see these couple of supply depots going down. Some Stalkers of Hellraiser blinking around as well. A Warp Prism up high. Going to see a couple more mules drop in. Marines attack. Medevacs all gathering together. Another 8, 9 Zealots charging up once again. And getting ready to roll in towards this natural expansion. A 2-base Terran against the 3-base Protoss. A Terran who is ahead if he can keep holding on because of the lack of gas and the way that the Protoss players playing this out. It's very low tech. And this time the SCV hold position is working wonders, protecting these Marines. And maybe Hellraiser's overextending just slightly this time around. Hellraiser does have to pull back up to the northern side. And that attack into the natural didn't work. But still, 26 SCVs to 50 probes. uThermal has to keep trading fantastically here if he wants to stay alive with this sort of economy at this stage of the game. Kind of feel as though it might just already be over, especially having lost the 3rd base. Then again, we're only 1 drop away from maybe an entire mineral line of the Protoss player being cleaned out. And all of a sudden, that could be something that changes things around very quickly. Because now those Zealots are backing away. The Stalkers are down here. Actually, they're coming in towards siege tank fire. I mean, uThermal's army is still kind of powerful. He's about to hit +2 attack, so he's going to be even in terms of +2, +1 on the map. +2 armors on the way for him as well, though. +1 vehicle weapons for the tanks. There's potential for uThermal. His army is powerful against pure gateways, which exactly is what this is from Hellraiser. Especially with the size of his army, 66 to 51 army supply. One Stalker goes down, then they blink away. I'm just going to see these Marines finally finding this gateway and pylon. So he'll get rid of any potential counterattacks here, or the majority of potential counterattacks. As now we're going to be seeing another Stalker getting shredded in the center. He sent those Zealots home, but remember, he was only on 2 gases for a long time here. These gases on the natural have 100 gas mined from the Meech. Means that he hasn't been able to morph in or warp in a lot of Immortals, Archons, anything like that, any sort of tech. And so that is something which means he really is just on pure Zealot right now, with 2-2 against 1-2. Marines will still trade pretty well here. Now these tanks can get into a good position too, down the ramp or so. Oh man, well, tanks are going to siege. Marines will use the tanks as a bit of a choke point here. Zealots already going down in high numbers. Tanks target firing down some Stalkers. Zealots are beginning to break through, but there is still a lot of Marines. I have to say the Zealots are gone. Suddenly Stalkers are starting to drop. The Sentry's force field is not going to be good enough The Mortal drops down, and uThermal pushes towards the third base, but another warp in of Zealots. He's going to have to step his heart out here to keep alive. And there he goes. Stalkers blink forwards. The Medivacs are low on health. The Zealots are dropping again, though, which means the Stalkers will be open to be hit on. And as the Stalkers get connected onto, they die so quickly in this situation. Another pile on this third Nexus now in trouble. Tank Siege is up. The Stalkers are to the south. And uThermal is just going to keep those zoned away. Tank picks off one of them. Crows behind this mineral line are actually going to pull into this army. Stalkers blink down south yet again, which means they don't really have a defensive blink now for the fight. uThermal fights in towards the Stalkers, gets rid of every single one of them. And Hellraiser doesn't have a great economy to rebuild the Stalkers. Mass and Zealots is very different than Mass and Stalkers, and that's going to be GG. uThermal. I really feel like only just breaks through this here as well at the end. Like, if we just quickly look, one Medivac super low on energy, not really that much supply left in Marines. Like, this army disappears in another warping or two, but he really broke through at just like one of his final